All right, guys, what you're about to watch right now is me speaking to a hair school, students who are just getting into hair school, students who are about to graduate, and I had an opportunity to really explain what they should expect from this career, how the career really helped me, and my experience the last 25 plus years, either behind the chair as a salon owner, as an e-commerce operator, and some things to be aware of, some books to read and enjoy. You may not actually hear some of the questions that clear, but the delivery you'll be able to kind of figure out what they ask based on what I say to them. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and yeah, leave a comment if you like it. Make sure you subscribe. And I think we're ready to rock and roll. Who's excited? Who's going to be doing hair and graduating school soon? By show of hands. That's all of you guys. And then who is just getting to school is going to be in the back left on my left. In the chairs over there? All right, cool. Do you guys have any questions, concerns you want to jump into right away? You want to hear a little history about how this career has changed my life?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, cool. So I got into hair school because my sister was doing hair. My grandfather was a barber. Like, I have a lot of bloodline when it comes to doing hair. And my sister was really successful. Like, she worked at a really nice salon. She made a lot of money. And I didn't want to go to college, and college just wasn't for me. But I was like, I need to do something where I could obviously make a living for myself and not be a bum. And so I went to hair school. It was really awesome. There was like 40 girls there, and I was like, I could do this. This is gonna be a lot of fun. And obviously it was a lot different than that. It was like learning how to do highlights and learning how to do haircuts. The person who helped me out the most in hair school, believe it or not, was one of the students. And she was unlicensed. And she needed to get a license to work in New Jersey. So one day at lunch, she took me under her wing, and she was like, Nick, you're going to do my highlights today. So I did a full head of highlights, low lights. We did a haircut on her. We glossed her. We did a bunch of stuff on her hair, and it came out awesome. Naturally, I was just good at doing highlights. And so with her help, and obviously the teachers too in hair school, I just started getting like the stuff I needed to be doing down. And I practiced and I watched. We didn't have videos, so I just watched my sister. You guys are so blessed to have YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. We didn't have that back in the day. And so I had to like do trial and error, and I had to watch people in the salon I was assisting at. And then one day the owner was like, hey, Jennifer was sick. Do you want to step in and do her clients? And then I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Like, all right, let me just do that. I was petrified because, you screw somebody up. It's like your reputation. But this is what I did this for. This is why I started doing this. So I just took a deep breath. I said, all right, let's do it. And I crushed it. I have no idea how it happened. I did everyone's hair. Everyone was happy. And the owner was sitting back there, and he was with the manager at the time. And they told me this like years later. And he was going to the manager. He's like, oh, she's going to complain. She's going to complain. And then all of a sudden, she just got up. She's like, I love it. And she walked out of the salon. And he was like, that's it. This kid's got it. And so I was just on the senior floor, and he put me behind the chair. So I started doing hair while I was still in hair school, which was a blessing and a curse. I picked up some bad habits. I picked up some good habits like conversational skills, learning how to fake it till you make it. But I didn't have what you guys have when it comes to YouTube and this online education. This is such a blessing to have. And if I were to have that, I would have skyrocketed my career. So long story short, started working for a bigger salon after I left that salon. My friend's mom did makeup for a soap opera. So again, I got invited for an interview. It was for As the World Turns, and I nailed the interview. Now I'm on the set, Channel 2, 2 o'clock, trying to do hair for a soap opera, having no idea how to style hair. So now I'm on set, and I'm, again, scared. And I made it. Like, I was able to do what I had to do. And back then, we didn't have regular pictures. We had Polaroids. So they gave you a Polaroid picture with the date of the last time that actress or actor was in the shot. And they had to reshoot a scene from 2 weeks ago because the writers messed something up. And then you have to make their hair look exactly like that. So could you imagine, like, each one of you guys have an independent skill set, and you do things just innately better than the other person. I have to step in for Stephanie now and duplicate her look. So again, it was like under pressure. And what I learned from that is like, you're gonna face hard times, but just believe in the skills and believe that you're a professional, and you always will come out on top. You're not going to know the right answers all the time. And if you make a mistake, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Nobody is really going to remember, unless it's catastrophic, a mistake that you made, as long as you're following the fundamentals. And I know you guys think like, oh, we're not learning much in hair school. The basics, you'll always go back to. And if you have your basics, your regular haircut, your 45 degree, your 90 degree, just go back to the basics when you're scared, when you're unsure. It's like color theory. Okay, she came out too yellow. What do I cancel that with? If I put this toner on here, it's a little too blue. I need to put a little violet in there. And so you start playing like math with colors, and you just have to go back to the basics. It will never steer you wrong. So fast forward again, I want to just have that little rant. After I was doing hair for a couple years, I was not as successful as everybody else. It's because I lacked focus. As I was sitting there trying to get busy, I was daydreaming about whatever career I can jump into next. And I was doing okay. I was somewhat busy, but I wasn't as busy as my peers. And 9/11 happened, and I was like, you know what? Let me get out of here. I joined the Marine Corps, and then I wound up touring the world for a couple years. The nice thing was the gift that I had of doing hair. I did hair in Thailand, I did hair in Japan, I did hair in California, I did hair in Dominican Republic. So as I traveled the world, I had a skill set that no matter what was going on, I was able to make some kind of money or have some kind of a career. And so in the barracks as a Marine, I was able to cut hair and make enough money that would pretty much double what I was making in the Marine Corps. So you guys are blessed to be able to take your hands and travel the world with it. Now, there's something I teach called the personal economy. Who ever heard me talk about that before? Cool. Show of hands. So you guys are so lucky to be in an industry where it's really easy to create your own personal economy. Give me a number. Who wants to make $100,000 a year? Show of hands. All right. Who wants to make $200,000 a year? Who thinks you can make $1 million a year doing hair? Awesome. All right. How are you going to make $1 million a year? Who wants to jump in? On the left.
Using proper skills of like speaking to your clients and having a good communication with them because if you're good with your client, they'll keep coming back to you.
100%. That's part of it. So skills. Where do skills fall into your personal economy? I'm going to give you the 3 areas we got to focus on. Service, product, or knowledge. So those are your 3 pillars of your personal economy. And so your skills are really going to fall into your service, but also some knowledge too. We're going to get the knowledge in a second. But when you gave me your answer right now, you were specific about your personal skills, right? Your hard skills, your ability to cut and color hair, correct? Now, what about your leadership skills? What about growing a team? What about getting leverage on not just your time, but other people's time? Do you know what that means? Anyone?
Yeah.
All right, so cool. What we're gonna do as hairstylists, what we do is whether you charge hourly or for the service or for the result, I like to call it for the result, you're still trading your time for money. You're gonna have to do that for a little while. You're gonna have to get the skills. You're gonna have to get career capital in actually doing hair. But you have the ability to take your skill set in doing hair and create a brand, a personal brand. Who here knows who one of the youngest billionaires on the planet was? Back right, back blonde hair.
Was it Kylie Jenner?
My girl, Kylie Jenner. Good answer. Ding, ding, ding. You know why?
Wasn't it her lip kits?
Her lip
right?
kits, her personal brand. Right? Did she cut anyone's hair? Did she ever do makeup for anybody? No. Was she ever a licensed cosmetologist? Never. But she made $1 billion off a makeup line. How about Brad Mondo? Who knows who that is? Right? YouTube channel. Whether you like him or don't like him, he built a brand for himself. He has a product line, a color line. So I'm opening up your eyes to what's possible with a personal brand. Who knows who Ted Gibson is? Back left. Is that a teacher in the back or is that a student? Okay, yeah. Ted Gibson is a stylist. He charges $2,600 a haircut right now. $2,600 for one haircut. Imagine you do 3 people a day. Imagine you do that 5 days a week. He's doing pretty well, right? How does he do that, though? Does he have better scissors than you? Can he cut hair better than you? Maybe, maybe not. Hold on one second. James! James, you got to get the dog. All right. So Ted built a personal brand. He obviously is good at cutting hair, but he valued himself. So not everyone can afford a $2,600 haircut. Not everyone thinks that they're worth a $2,600 haircut. It didn't stop him. He still believed enough in himself to charge what he felt he was worth. Now Ted obviously does other things, like he does like celebrities. He probably has some brand endorsements and things like that. But when you build your skills up and you build a personal brand, then you can venture into products. So you guys know about selling retail?
They're learning. So
They're-
300 level right now, we're all going through that now. We have a student-run salon.
Okay.
So like me and you were speaking last week, I was telling you how I'm trying to break that stigma of when kids leave beauty school, they don't know anything.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get that trial and error with them. That's
Cool.
why we have the student-run salon. And I'm like, you need to ask 3 of your classmates before you come and ask me, and then you're going to tell me what you're doing. I'm not telling you what you're doing. That's the only way that they're going to learn.
All right, cool. I'm glad you brought that up. So we're gonna make this flow a little bit. We're gonna jump into your full personal economy, but you just brought something up really important. Guys, write this down. Write down 1-3-1. It's called the 1-3-1 rule. And so when you're exposed to a problem, whether it's with a client's hair, whether you're going to go to an owner, whether you're going to go to your teacher, and you have an issue, I want you to think about what's the one problem that if I solved would solve 80% of my issue right now, would get me 80% to the finish line, or help me the most if I were to take action on that one thing right now, whether it was cutting someone's hair, over directing it, a color, whatever it may be. How are you going to get from point A to point B? What's the 3 possible solutions that might make that one thing actually happen for me? And then which one am I going to take action on right now that would probably give me the best result? And so before you ask your teacher, before you ask somebody, do your own 1-3-1. Like if I were to cut her hair here, what would happen? If I elevate it up to here, what will happen? If I over direct it over here, what will happen? Short hair pushes long hair. So if I over direct it to the front and she wants to open up her face, well, then I think that I'll have the best chance if I over direct her hair all to the front and cut it, because then it will give her that swooping back look that she wanted. So you're going to have to play these scenarios in your head. That comes in almost every facet of what you do in this business. You're going to be left with choices, and that's what's so scary about cutting someone's hair. And because if you make the wrong choice, it's a bad day for you and a bad 6 months for that client while they grow it out. So you're going to build up on experience, and you're going to build on, obviously, through education on what the best decision to make is. And so that 1-3-1 rule, just really ingrain that in yourself, because you always have a couple choices when it comes to services. Now, mastering services is crucial to creating a personal brand, but it's not the only thing you could do. There's 2 things that are going to make you busy in this career. Who knows what they are? You guys want the answer? It's your personality and your product, your service. So you guys don't have enough experience to have a really good service yet. Like your product of an extension artist or a colorist or a makeup artist or whatever realm you're going to go into, you don't have it yet. Some of you might be naturally gifted, but you don't have like the experience of someone who's been in it 5-10 years yet. However, you do have personalities. So you can be likable. You can communicate better. You can be a good listener. You can try and figure out what it is your client's really asking for. Sometimes the client will say she wants to be warm and golden, when in reality, she doesn't understand what that means. She really wants to be cool and ashy. And so if she's telling you one thing, but you're not really researching her language to make sure she's using the proper language, then you're going to make a mistake. And even though she told you she wanted gold, she really wanted cool and ashy, it's on you, even though you gave her what she asked for. So part of that is your personality, likability, how easy you are to talk to, how you communicate. You could focus on that. The book to get for that is an old book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's written by Dale Carnegie. I would get that book. I would build a really pleasing personality. Another book I would get is by Simon Sinek. Finding Your Why, I think it's called. You guys will love him. Knowing Your Why. Let me look it up real quick.
And I'm just gonna piggyback
Yeah,
off of
please.
what he said. How many times have I told you guys that skill will come? You have to be understanding and likable and have a personality because a lot of times people are just gonna come to you because of who you are and not what you can do.
I built a business off of personality. I was good at doing hair, but I built the majority of it off personality.
Yeah, so I tell you guys that, like, as long as you're a kind, nice, liking person, people are gonna come. The haircut might be okay. Your
There's
skill will get better over time, but because they like you, they'll be coming back.
All right, so picture a pie chart. Everyone knows what a pie chart is? Yeah. So you have a couple options here. I'll give you my artistic drawing and ability. Here's the pie chart. I don't know if you can see it because I have a filter on, or it's like a thing right there. All right. So one's personality, one is your product, your service. So at any given time, if you're 50% good at doing hair and you're 50% likable, you have 100% of that pie chart. Now, if you got 50% you're good at hair because you haven't been doing it long enough, and you're a little bit of a bitch or you have an attitude, guess what? You're 25% personality. You're not that likable. Your skill is only 50%. You're missing 25% of that pie chart. That's a recipe for disaster. Now imagine if you're really not likable and you don't have that good of skills yet, then you're 50% of that pie chart. You're never going to build up. You're going to do a client one time, and they're never going to come back to you. And so you guys may be amazing at marketing right now because you were born with a cell phone in your hand, right? TikTok, Instagram, you're good at getting attention. That's what Kylie Jenner did. She got attention. That's what Brad Mondo does. He gets attention. But here's the thing no one tells you. Good marketing makes a bad product fail faster. So you might be dynamite at taking pictures. The second someone sits in your chair, they're going to say to you, well, this doesn't look like that picture, because you're really good at marketing. So make sure you build your skills up so you'll cash checks that your marketing writes. It's really important that when someone sits in your chair, that if maybe you fell short a little bit on your technical skill, you wow them with your personality. And if you're not that great at that, those 2 books I gave you will really help. But there's a note section in your booking software. There's a note section in your phone. Here's the one key you have to really understand when it comes to being likable. Act more interested than interesting. When you get nervous, you begin to panic. You begin to talk about yourself and talk about things that don't really matter to the client. When you are calm, cool, and collective, and you put the reps in, you're going to act more interested. So you can ask your client questions. You act like you really care. You take a mental note of them, and you write down their daughter's wedding date, their anniversary, the thing they're doing that weekend. So when they do come back because you wowed them with your smile and your charm, and they want to give you a second chance, but their hair was a little uneven, you don't strike out this time. You remember the wedding date, you remember their anniversary, you remember what they were doing, and they're like, wow, Vanessa really cares. She's awesome. She really did pay attention. And then as you're building your skills, you're also building your techniques and your ability to be liked and your ability to listen. So that's one of the most important things. Remember, play that in your head. Act more interested than interesting. Now I'm going to jump back to the personal economy when it comes to products here. Who knows about products? Hair products. Who understands how it works with retail in a salon? Someone break it down for me. Anyone? There you go. What's your name?
Jaden.
Tayden? All right, Tayden, you got points on the board, Tayden. Your hands are raised. I'm going to do a one-on-one strategy call with whoever has the most points on the board. All right, Tayden, what's retail about? Tell me how it works in the salon.
The way that I see it in the salon that I work at is if you have a client with hair that is either like, for example, frizzy or damaged, you will, even I do it as a shampoo girl sometimes, I'll recommend stuff from their stylist. They'll be like, recommend stuff to my client, and it will gain their trust with you, because if you tell them, I don't know, to use like a K18, then they'll be like, oh my God, my stylist gave me something great. And then they'll be like, I'm going to keep going back to them because now they know what's best for me and my hair.
Yeah.
And it builds a better bond with you and your client because now you're recommending them products and you're also making retail off of it.
There you go.
They're coming to you.
Commission.
Yeah. I was leaning. I was actually asking more for the money part of it, the actual that side of it. But no, no, your question's beautiful, like the way you answered it. So, who thinks of themselves as professional as a doctor? All your hands should be raised. All of you. There's
You all should have your hand up.
I made more money doing hair than most of my doctor friends. I'll be honest with you.
How
And
many
so,
times have you had it done?
what'd you say?
I tell them too. I say, you know, we are in a fortunate space where we make our own paycheck. So if you work hard, you can be making.
So I had a woman who I coached. She was doing $14,000 a week behind the chair, doing extensions. 14,000. Some people don't make that a year. She was doing it a week. Now, that included the sale of hair as well, and the sale of product, obviously. But 14,000 a week times 52. Do the math. Give her 2 weeks vacation times 50. Do it on your calculators. It's a pretty big number. But it's possible. So you have to treat this like a profession. What happens when you go to a doctor? You tell them what's wrong, and what do? What's the first thing they do? They diagnose the problem. Your clients are going to come to you with a hair issue. That's part of your consultation. You have to diagnose the issue. Hey, Barbara, what's going on with your hair? Well, it's laying flat. Oh, okay, so volume is an issue for you. Do you remember the volumizer I used on your hair that you didn't want to buy? That's going to help the problem. So as you're doing the service on them, like, hey, I know we talked about volume being an issue for you, so this is what I'm going to use in your hair so it has volume. And so you prescribe the product they need. You have a dry scalp, you got dandruff, you have this, you have dry hair, dry ends. Whatever the problem is with their hair, the issue, you have a solution for it. So you diagnose it. And if it works, you build their trust. More importantly, when they go home and they get in the shower and they grab their bottle of shampoo that you sold them, they're going to be like, oh, Vanessa sold me this. It's almost empty. I might have to go back to her again. There's a connection there between you selling her a product or a shampoo that worked well in her hair. If you don't sell it to her and she goes to Ulta or the drugstore, guess where she's going to go when that's empty? She's thinking of the drugstore or Ulta, not of you. And so there's a lot that goes into selling retail. Now, the finance side of it, you get a product for $10 typically, unless you negotiate terms with your distributor or the brand. You sell it for $20. So when you buy in bulk or you buy like an intro deal you're going to hear, you get these products cheaper. So I can get it for $8, which is 20 off instead of 10. So now my margin of profit goes to 60% because I'm selling it for 20 still. And the reason why that's important is when you work with your salons, because none of you guys I think are going to open a salon yet. I don't think you should open one up yet or go to a suite. I think you should have some training underneath you, some real life experience in the field. But there's commission in there. There's room in there for your owner to give it to you. And so if you're selling a lot of product, you can negotiate 10%, 15%, even 20% of that retail. And so that's just an added bonus to your paycheck. It builds trust. It builds your retention rate. It makes you an authority on doing hair. For those of you guys, let's bring it back to the attention. You're going to have a shortage of content to create. So everyone knows about social media. Here's the best part about it. You're going to be in a salon. You're going to be using new products. You're excited. Why not do a product review every single day? Every day, just do a product review. It could be 10 seconds. It could be a minute. It could be 2 minutes. You can make a long form content on YouTube. That's how Brad Mondo got where he's at. Kylie Jenner, with enough attention, that could be you. You build enough attention off you doing product reviews, guess what happens? A brand will find you. A brand will pay you money. So you can talk about the personal economy. Now you're cutting hair, you're coloring hair, you're doing product reviews every day. You're gaining the trust of not just your clients that come sit in your chair, you're gaining the trust of the whole entire internet. So you start doing product reviews on this, whatever, shampoo, you link it to where they can buy it from. There's something called an affiliate link. So that's probably where you would start first. You become an affiliate of a brand. There's technology behind it, but it imprints cookies and your affiliate code. It lets the brand know who sent them to that landing page. I'm not going to get into that with you guys today, but they know you sent them there. So they're going to give you money. They're going to give you commissions on it. So let's do some math real quick. Imagine you did a TikTok on a hair serum, right? An oil that replenishes hair, adds shine, adds moisture. Let's say that TikTok did 100,000 views. And let's say 10% of people bought that product off you. That's 10,000 people bought that product. Let's say the profit on that is $10. That's $100,000 in profit times your 10% commission, let's say. You made $10,000 off that video in potentially 1 month or a weekend. That can happen. Let's say you have like 50 videos up on the internet that you do that with, a different range of products. They all may not go viral, obviously, but let's say you range from 5,000 for a video, 2,000 for a video. You start getting this extra income coming in. That's the other pillar. That's product. You can create your own Shopify store. You could create your own product, like what Kylie did, what Brad did, or you become like an ambassador. Who knows Color Wow? Chris Appleton? Yeah, Chris Appleton's an ambassador for Color Wow. I think that money mask is his brand, right? I'll give you something even bigger than that. Who knows why Michael Jordan has so much money? Blonde hair. Next. The shoes. Yeah, Nike. His deal with Nike. A brand deal. This is no different than what you guys can do. If you're the best stylist on TikTok, the best stylist on YouTube, brands want that attention that you garnish, that you have. They're going to give you money because they're much better putting the product in your hand that people pay attention and believe you than running an ad somewhere else. That gives you the opportunity to negotiate a commission on affiliate links, negotiate a deal, create your own product within that line. So that is step 2, products. Is that pretty clear for everybody? You guys got that? So now you're cutting hair. You're 25 years old. I don't know your ages in here, but I'm guessing everyone's kind of high school. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you guys were older. I'm sorry for cursing. I'll try to keep it clean. All right, so now you're cutting hair. You're in the real world. You're making some money. Your friends are spending $100,000 a year in college. You're making $100,000 a year right now. You're laughing at them because they can't afford to pay for drinks when you go out to the bar. And you're driving a new car. You got the Louis bag. Things are good. Now your videos that you're using to market yourself to get busier behind the chair are making you money. You're getting affiliate commissions now. Now you're making an extra $5,000 a month off these videos you're creating. Plus, you're getting people to come in your chair and sit down. But now, let's say you're getting older in your 20s. You're like, you know what, Nick? I'm getting tired of cutting hair. I got some money coming in from products. I want more. I have a really unique way of putting in extensions in somebody's hair. And no one does it like I do. I have this new method of doing it. I want to start teaching other people. That's the knowledge pillar of the personal economy. So what knowledge is works very similar to your products. You're not trading your time for money. You could do one-on-one coaching, right? You could do kind of like I do. I do group coaching, one-on-one coaching. You could create a course. You take a video of you installing the extensions with your method. You package it up and you sell it so it lives on the internet somewhere where people pay you money and you give them access to it. And then you just keep on running ads to it or running attention to it, and people keep on buying it and you keep on making money. There's also the structure I like. It's a group coaching model. There's one-on-one, obviously, like I'll coach one of you guys directly, build your business, but you're capped out. There's only so many hours in a day. And there's one-to-many. One-to-many is I have a group coaching program that I'm able to have people come into a Zoom call like this, like you'd be all my students, let's say, and I go over a strategy or a technique or a method. What I would do if I were you is on Fridays, I would create my new technique and I would do like a cool little video on that. You would watch it over the weekend. On Mondays, I would do my group call. That's how I would structure it up. The details of it, I can get involved with a little more for you. But now let's say you build the social media presence, and who thinks 250,000 followers is attainable? It's not 1 million, but it's 250,000. If you worked on creating content every day over the next 10 years, you think you can get that? I say it's pretty believable, right? Let's say 1% of 1/3 trusts you enough to pay you money to subscribe to your method. It's your community, it's your coaching, access to your brain. So we're going to go 250,000 times 33% equals 82,500 times 1%. That's 825 people. Let's say 825 people pay you. Is $97 a lot, you think? It's pretty reasonable to learn this crazy technique? $97 a month? They're going to be able to make $14,000 a week with your technique. I think that's pretty fair. You're going to teach them those skills. So 825 times 97. 825 times 97. That's $80,000 a month recurring revenue. So remember when people told you that you can't make money doing hair? So that's $80,000 a month. I'm willing to bet I don't know anybody your financial status in this room. I'm willing to bet that majority of the parents in this room, if they went to college, aren't making $80,000 a month without also breaking their butt to do it. And that is just recurring revenue as you keep building that brand. But guess what? You have 825 people that are in your community. Guess what you do because they love your technique of hair extensions? You create a hair extension brand that you sell to them. Then you create a shampoo and conditioner that they use in their salon. Now you create the product. Then you start partnering up with these people and you get pieces of their salon because you're making so much money. You have 55 salons that all specialize in your extension brand. So now you have $200,000 a month coming in from your salons, $80,000 a month coming in from your knowledge-based business, and you're making $200,000 a month from your product line in your hair. All from going to hair school. These are the opportunities that are really at your disposal right now that no one's talking about. So my personal business, this is how that happened. I was an innate entrepreneur. I was the type of person that would walk into a restaurant, look around, like, all right, there's 20 tables in here. There's 4 people to a table. I would do the math. I turn over 3 times. The restaurant's doing $16,000 a night, right? Based on the price of the menu. My brain works like that. But I was always pulled in different directions, right? You're going to get to a point in your career where you're not busy, nothing's working, and you're going to want to quit. It's going to happen. I did it. I just wasn't making money. I didn't put the time in. And I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Don't quit. Put the time in. Because I spent 10 years of my life bouncing around, trying this, trying that, did mortgages, chasing the money. And it's not about chasing the money. You have to obviously have passion, but you have to be good at this. I was good at doing hair. Put the time in so you're good at it. Put the time into learning the marketing, the leadership, the soft skills, the communication, because it will pay off. I took a 10-year break from hair. I got back into hair again. I had a failed business that I lost a ton of money on. I tried starting a website. So I moved to the Dominican Republic for a couple months just to hang out. I'm on the beach. I'm like, I have to start a job where I can work from anywhere in the world. And I was like, I'm going to start a website. Had no idea about websites. When I got back home, I paid someone $11,000 to do my website. It didn't work the way I wanted it. I'm like, oh, damn. So I paid somebody else. That didn't work. So I learned how to code websites. This is back before there was like Squarespace and Shopify. I did HTML and JavaScript and CSS. It's like a completely foreign language. I spent a good portion of my life, probably 8 years, 6 years, trying to get this business off the ground. Never made money with it. I honestly just didn't. So I had to get back in the hair again. I got jammed up in my life. Went to my friend's hair salon. He had a salon. He wasn't doing well. He didn't know anything about marketing, nothing about Google, nothing about websites. So I stepped in. I took the skills I learned over the last 8 years or so failing at business, applied it to the hair salon. I grew that business from a little over $100,000 a year to $1.2 million in 1 year. Through everything I learned. Now, I was good at hair. I grew my personal business, my book behind the chair, because I was good at hair. And now I knew how to market. I just was marketing the wrong products. I used Facebook ads and I used Facebook organic. I used outreach to people who were engaging with my ads and engaging with my posts. I went from, in January, I was barely doing $400 a week, to that September, I was consistently doing $4,000 a week behind the chair. To the following year, it was an average $25,000 a month I was doing, just doing hair, not including my ownership stake. And I did that in less than a year. It was just about a year's time I grew my business like that. Now that is a large number. I already had like 10 years experience of knowing how to do hair. So I'm not, those results aren't going to be guaranteed to you, but they are possible for you. So as you're learning your skills and you're learning how to market, you will build that up organically. That's 100% possible. That wasn't expensive prices either. So once I got busy doing hair, I was making money. Guess what I did? I started a Shopify store. I started selling products online. I took the skills I learned 10 years ago, however many years it was at that time, and I started selling products online because I had mastered the skills part, right? The service industry part of the personal economy. And then I started making money. I did 3 million. It was last year we did 3 million sales in just retail online, just selling beauty products, not including the salons. So I had that piece of the puzzle. Then I started coaching. I started a knowledge-based business. I started hiring people to teach me about marketing, hiring people to teach me about Google Ads, hiring people to teach me about SEO, coding websites. I hired more mentors, business coaches, mindset coaches. I spent so much money on just my personal development to make me better for my team, better for my clients, better for me, better for my family. I took all that knowledge and I created a coaching program so I could pour into other salon owners. Now I have my knowledge business. I created my own personal economy. Don't rush it. I'm 45 years old. So this all happened on a long time horizon. Now you got guys like Alex Hermosi. Who knows who Alex Hermosi is? Layla Hermosi. Everyone write that name down. I want you to write down these two names. Write down Alex Hermosi, Alexhormizi. Write down Layla Hermosi. Don't ask me to spell her first name. It's Layla Hermosi. And then write down Gary Vaynerchuk. Go to their YouTube channels. Go to their Instagrams. Go to their TikToks. All of them give you so much information, and it's valuable information. They give it all away for free. Just based on what they put out for free content, you will be able to grow a business as large as you want. But you hear the most important part about that, right? You will be able to grow a business as large as you want. The only thing separating the billionaire on this planet from the person who's broke and homeless is themselves, their beliefs, their choices, their environment, who they surround themselves with. You're going to get into a salon, you're going to get around people who maybe want to be a bad influence on you, maybe indirectly, maybe not even intentionally, but their life choices will affect you if you hang out with them enough. You're the sum total of the 5 people you hang out with the most.
And I tell them, show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yep. Yeah.
All the time.
She's 100% right. And it's not just your friends physically. What are they saying to you? What are the things they're implanting in your mind? How are they affecting your thoughts? What are your thoughts to yourself? What are the things you're saying to yourself? Do you have positive self-talk? Listen, it's going to get to a point when you're doing this career, you're going to want to give up, quit, go work at Home Depot, or go sell real estate, or go sell cars, or work at a frozen yogurt place. Or you're going to be like, no, this isn't for me. If you stick it out, it's going to be for you. You're going to make money. No matter what career you're going to, no matter where you venture into your professional life, for anyone who attains any level of success, there's going to get to a point where it gets hard. And all you do when you quit when it gets hard is build the habit and the skills of quitting. When you build the skills of withstanding the hard and figuring out a way around it, through it, or over that obstacle, you're going to develop skills. You're going to develop an indomitable will that you'll take it to the next area of life. And when you develop that indomitable will, it's going to help you out as a business owner, as a stylist, as a mom, as a husband, as a wife, as a father, as a whoever. That ability to have positive self-talk that you know it will always work out for you no matter what, or you'll find a way. I can't stress that ability to have that talk, that positive self-talk with you enough. There's a question you want to ask yourself. Everyone, when they talk about a new business idea or doing something, people play these scenarios in their head. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? So write this down. Write down what if, and then put a line through it. And then I want you to write down even if. Be a person who says, even if this happens, I will still find a way to make it work for me. There's going to be a million what ifs in your life. You are the person who controls the even if. Doesn't matter the obstacle. You will find a way around it, through it, or over it. And as long as you have that mentality of, even if this goes wrong, even if something happens, I will find a way to make this work or learn from this lesson, because I have a failed business. And you know what? I had to shut my business down to go back into the hair industry. And had I had that failed business, had that never happened to me, I would have never been where I'm at today. It just wouldn't have happened. So I give that gratitude. I give that, I'm so grateful that happened to me. In the moment, it sucked. In the moment, I was sad. In the moment, I was like, damn, I suck. Then I always reinforce my mindset with positive talk, positive books, positive videos. And I knew that even if this is going wrong, not going my way, I know that it's going to work out for me one way or another. And it does, and it has. And so it's really important that you envision what you want out of this career, and you live from the future. You never let your past define the present. You let your present define the past. So I rewrote my past. It might have felt like a mistake back then, but I rewrote that as a valuable lesson. And now I wouldn't trade those experiences for the world. And I don't function in the present. I function for my future self. And so what that means is I make decisions based on how the Nick 5 years from now is going to react or respond to that decision. How is he going to feel about that decision? My future self, like just use a smaller example. If none of you guys drink right now. I gave up drinking. It's not important to me, but some people drink alcohol, right? Some people feel like crap the next day. Is that nice to do to your future self? No, you feel like crap. You think, oh, I'm at the party, I'm going to have fun. You're staying up late. You're hanging out with your friends. You're staying up late. You're on the phone. You're talking to 3 o'clock in the morning. You have something important to do at 4 or something to do at 7 o'clock in the morning. Now you're tired. You ruined your whole day. Is that nice to do to your future self? No. The decisions you make today are going to affect that future self. Be kind to that person. Because when you splurge on that pocketbook or you go out with your friends, you throw it on a credit card, guess what? You're just punting that bill to your future self who might have another thing to pay for. So make decisions that your future self will thank you for. And you're going to be pretty happy with, the outcome of your future self in that scenario that you're involved in. All right, so I'm going to open up for some Q&A. Who's got some questions?
Who wants to start? Should we go around?
Yeah, go around the room.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me start.
For starting a business, do you think it would be better for somebody to do it alone so they can learn on their own, or do you think it would be better to start with somebody else?
All right, that's a really good question, by the way. So you could time collapse your journey by hiring a mentor or having a partner. If you go alone, you're going to go faster. If you go with a partner, you're going to go farther. You have to make sure they're a good fit for you. So to answer your question, both will work for you. I think to start out with, you should find a good salon to work for and find a mentor. Find a business owner who has what you want, and so you can emulate what they do. A lot of people give you advice. If they don't have what you want, if they're not in a spot where you want to be at, don't take their advice from them. Like, my parents love me. I don't take business advice from my parents. They don't have what I want. They're not where I want to be. I love them. Like, they love me. They're giving me the best advice they can because they love me and they're trying to protect me. They don't know how to run a business. So I'll take business advice from my friend who has like $30 million in the bank and 20 restaurants. That's who I listen to. And so for you, I would first get career capital. And what career capital means is cutting hair and coloring hair is your services, but there's leadership, there's business, you got taxes, you gotta learn a lot when it comes to running a business. So before you get beat up by either having a partner or trying to do it your own, have at least 3 to 5 years in the industry before you go off on your own. And then there's something called core values. Write that down. You have core values and you have your mission statement, your reason, your why, right? Core values and your why, right? Mission statement. Your why, your mission statement is why you do hair, right? You do hair because you want to make people feel beautiful, empower the community, whatever it is that you do hair for, open a salon for. Your core values is how you do it. I do it with respect, teamwork, persistence, hard work, integrity. When you get a partner, you have to make sure that you guys align on your why and you align on your core values. As long as both of those align, you guys are good. You have to regularly check in with each other once a week on the business. You have to always have open lines of communication. And you have to be good at disagreeing. You have to be able to talk through things. If you hide your true emotions because you feel bad about having difficult conversations, you're going to resent that person and the business will fail. You both have to be able to talk things out and express how you really feel about a situation. If not, it's going to blow up. So when you have a partner, it's important that you're honest. You don't sugarcoat things. Their feelings might get hurt. Okay, that's fine. This is business now. It's not personal. Does it align with my core values? Does it align with my why, my mission? Cool. Then that's how we make our decision. And if it doesn't, it's cut and dry. So I would have those things really clear, and they're going to evolve over time for you. And so I would get clear on that first. And then obviously there's something called your genius type. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm at Nick Mirabella. And then send me the genius type test. I'll send it over to you and you can see what your genius type is. That will probably evolve too. But you want to make sure that you have a complementary genius type to you. So you're both not the same. Write this book down, everybody. The Millionaire Master Plan. So that book has a website link to it where you could actually take the genius test and you could, it breaks down like how to look at business from a different perspective. And if I had that book 10 years ago, I'd probably be Alex Hormozy right now. But I'm not because I didn't have the book. So let's not live in the past. That book right there I recommend very few books. I just started reading that book and I'm pretty much done with it. And it's a game changer for you guys. It's going to give you really good information. All right. Did I answer your question, by the way?
Yeah, you did.
Good. All right. Next to you. Steph.
How long did it take you to be confident in the work you do?
That's a great question. It took me a couple years, honestly. I was pretty good. I'm technically very good at doing hair. Like I'm willing to put myself up as a cosmetologist from men's haircuts, updos, coloring, women's haircuts, eyebrows, waxing, makeup, the whole line against any other person in the world. I'll probably be top 10% in the whole entire world. I may say top 5%. That's how confident I am. With that said, there are days, just like everyone else, that have bad days. When I retired behind the chair, by the way, guys. So I'm 45, retired. I don't do hair anymore. So if that's part of your life, that's possible for you. You can retire at 30 if you really want to. But I still had moments where I was like, you know what? I quit. Like you got to understand, hair is nature. So just like nature has like an apple tree and there's 200 perfect apples on that tree, and then there's 3 jacked up apples all twisted up in a weird shape. It happens. Sometimes you'll put 20 volume on someone's hair. They'll lift beautiful. The next time they come in, you put it on and like it just doesn't break past the level 6. And you're like, well, what do? I suck. You put toner on. It just didn't take the way it did last time. Hair is nature. Understand that there's underlying factors that will get in the way of you being the best. Like the outcome sometimes. And it's okay. As long as you did this. I'm going to give you guys another book too. Write down the 4 agreements. Just order that book. It's like $10, I think. That book is going to change your life and how you think of things. So the reason why this question leads into that book is you follow these 4 agreements in life, especially in salon, you're going to be good. So first agreement, be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personal. Means don't gossip. Don't say, I'm so fat. I'm so stupid. I suck. I'm the worst. She's stupid. Like don't gossip about anyone, say anything negative. You follow that rule, your life gets a lot easier. Number 2 of the 4 agreements, don't take anything personal. You might do someone's hair. They might hate it. You may love it. It's got nothing to do with you. It may have everything to do with the fact that her boss just laid into her. Her son might be sick. Her husband might be a jerk. Like you don't know what happened. She might have got a cut off before she got there. You don't know what she's dealing with. So if she gets upset with you, it has nothing to do with you. Doesn't mean you're terrible. Now, number 3 is don't make assumptions. Don't assume that your client really wants gold highlights because she said gold. Maybe she wants ash. Really dissect that. Don't make assumptions. Don't assume that because you see your client sitting in Debbie's chair and you did her hair a month ago that she hated her hair. Maybe you were booked and you had a cancellation. So don't ever make assumptions. Ask for clarity. And then number 4, this gets to your question. You always do your best. If you always give it 100% every single day, day in and day out, you give it your best. There's nothing more you could do. You go to bed at night, you lay your head on your pillow, you go right to sleep. You have nothing to worry about because you gave your best. And so, yeah, I'm going to have days where I'm not confident, but if I knew I gave it my best that day, I chalk it up to today's just not a good day. So I wanted to fill that question in with some of those ideas. But confident, you may be confident in haircutting next year and coloring might take you 2 or 3 years. But I promise you, if you become obsessed with being the best, being so good they can't ignore you, you will get confidence very, very quickly. And what you do is this. Message every single person in your phone, every person who follows you on Instagram, every person you see. Ask them if you could do their hair for free. Have them cover the cost of products, color. In a year's time or 2 years' time, if you do everyone, don't turn away haircuts, don't turn away short haircuts, don't only do long haircuts, build a skill set in every area of this particular craft, you'll be good at almost all of it. You'll then have the ability to pick and choose what you want to do and what excites you the most. And then you could combine what you're passionate about with what you're good at. Because sometimes what you're good at may not be what you're passionate at. You may just be really good at cutting hair for whatever reason, but you love doing color. You might suck at doing color. So if you focus on doing color and your confidence resides on that, well, then you're not going to build a clientele because you're going to always feel like a failure, and then people are going to have ruined hair. But if you're really good at cutting, you build a business off the back of your cutting skills until you get really good at coloring, and then you're able to transition into just coloring. But you want to make sure that you give yourself time to become confident at all of it. And that just comes from putting the reps in. So I would be doing this every single day. Your whole algorithm on every social media platform should be educational content for skills, for cutting, coloring hair. That's it. Like, what we had to do was watch like VHS tapes back in the day, or go to a hair show to learn. Who knows what a VHS tape is in here? All right, cool. And you couldn't skip through things. There was no table of content. You got to watch it with stupid music for 4 hours just to get good at it. Now you could just put in the specific thing you want to learn, watch that person's technique, go to somebody else, watch their technique, marry the two of them. Now you have your technique. And so by doing that, you do that every day, I promise you'll come back in this conversation with me. And 1 year from now, you'll be more confident than any person in this room and any person doing hair who hasn't done that within 5 years. Cool. All right.
Go ahead. Come on, don't waste this time. Let's go.
Okay, so I work at a hair salon right now
Mhm.
as a shampoo girl. After I get all my hours, I plan on working there as a stylist. What is your best advice for starting off? Because like I'm really nervous.
Yeah, what I just told her. Yeah, honestly, text every person in your phone, do everyone. You won't be nervous anymore. You're only nervous because you're not competent. Competence builds confidence. Like, who drives a car in this room? Raise your hand. How nervous were you the first day behind the wheel? No one? Wow. Okay, wrong analogy. But you build confidence the more you do things. How about the first day of hair school? Who's good at cutting hair right now? Who has more confidence in the first day? Yeah, because you're doing it more now. That you're just going to build on that. So the more competent you are at a particular technique or a skill set, you're going to become more confident. And here's the deal. Your clients will feel that. This is why it's so important. When they're sitting next to you, they will feel that you're not confident. And that what's going to happen is they're going to start questioning you. You're going to feel their energy. And now you're going to be even more unconfident. So it's important that when you walk into that, you sell it like you're the best in the world. That belief structure, like there's no one better than me, you have to sell that to yourself first. I don't care if you have to walk in the bathroom and be like, I'm the best, 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 I got this. Then you go out there and you truly believe you're the best. Then you go in the break room and be like, oh shoot, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But it doesn't matter. In front of that client, you sell it, you're the best. One thing you could do is visualization. You look at your book the night before and you visualize every client loving their hair, walking out the salon with a smile, making them feel beautiful. And just because you rehearse it in your head and you truly feel it, it will help. So I would definitely just put the reps in, no matter what it is. How you do anything is how you do everything. So you're going to get friends who want you to do their hair. You're going to get people you don't charge full price to. It's your cousin, it's your friend. Don't half-ass it. You're going to build bad habits that way. No matter what you do it 100%. And you won't let anyone down. More importantly, you won't let yourself down. But yeah, you both of you guys have a very similar answer. Just do as many people as you can in a short amount of time as you can, and you will have confidence, and you'll be prepared.
You should be learning to get that client, not letting the same person do it all the time because they're going to get really good. But then when you guys leave, you're going to be like, oh my God, I should have listened to this kid.
Yeah. I mean, stand tall, like have a backbone, but understand if a client's unhappy, there's a reason why. You're going to hear people in our industry now say, oh, I fire clients. Why are you firing clients? Are you not good enough to make them happy, or are they just really picky? There will come a time when you have people who just you can't make happy. That's where your personality comes in to get to the bottom of what the main issue is. Because I'll tell you right, Barbara, right now, I don't think it's the highlights of the problem. What's going on? I've said that to clients. Like I had clients come in, they show me a picture when they were 25. They're 65 now. Barbara, this is not you anymore. You're a grandma now. Like your mom. Like, and these are hard conversations. You're gonna have conversations with people when they come in and their husband died, their kid's sick, they get cancer. Right? These are things that that you don't get trained for. So like Crucial Conversations is a book you can read, but having the skill set and the maturity to have these conversations will only elevate your career. Now, it's not all bad like that. You're going to be there for their weddings. You're going to be there for the child's birth. You're going to be invited to weddings. There's going to be magical things that you're going to be involved with your clients too. But just know that energy, you have to learn how to control that energy. That's super important because you don't want to take that energy home with you. When you have a bad day at work, it stays at work. When you have a bad day at home, that stays at home. Don't commingle the two of them. Next question.
Casey, when starting your business, like what was the hardest part about building your books?
Okay. When I was young, honestly, before we had social media, it was difficult. I would go around to like Barnes and Noble, and I would go around to like Quick Check and like stores and put my business card in magazines, like hair magazines and Cosmo, just so people opened the magazine when they brought it home and they would find, oh, look, who's this card? Nowadays, it really isn't that hard to build a book. What's hard is to keep a book, to keep the clients. So focus more on retention. So your retention rate is the most crucial number you have to pay attention to. Like I said before, good marketing makes a bad product fail faster. Marketing, you have TikTok, you got Instagram, you have Google business page, you have websites, you've got so many tools now at your disposal to build a business. The hardest part is being consistent with the results that you deliver time after time. That's the hardest part. So how long till you get on the floor? Or how long till you graduate?
6 months.
So in 6 months. So 1 year from now, you'll be on the floor for 6 months as an assistant. 1 year from now, it should be your goal to be behind the chair, at least as a junior stylist. 1 year from that, you should be 80% booked. That's possible. It's not hard to do nowadays. It really isn't. There's a girl, my niece graduated high school with. She kills it on Instagram, crushes it. Every day, posts valuable content. Every day, it's a tip. And she's busy. I don't care if it's busy with just blowouts, busy with basic stuff, but it's better than nothing. She's building trust. She's building the soft skills. She's building that authority in the space. So, yeah, I would say the hardest part is keeping your clients and being consistent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
JT.
So you said that you traveled when doing hair, right?
That was for the Marine Corps. I did hair as I traveled to different places, I was able to have a job.
Okay, would you say that traveling, going to like different countries and places taught you something?
Oh yeah. You guys want to hear a funny story? I'll keep it super PG for everyone in here. So, I was in the Marine Corps, right? And I did hair first, obviously. And I was good. So we're in Thailand right now, and we're walking around a bunch of Marines, and we're going like bar to bar, we're hanging out, going to different like clubs and stores and having fun. And we walked past this hair salon, and it was full of a bunch of girls in there. And so we all walked in like joking around, and like we were just flirting, having fun. And I was like, hey, you guys want to come out with us? And they were laughing. I was like, I tell you what, if I could do her hair better than you guys will come out with us? And they thought I was joking. And so they were all laughing. I was like, all right, cool. Brought her to the sink. I washed her out. I started blowing her out, and their jaws hit the floor. And they're like, oh my God, how do you know how to do hair? And so we left, and they were cool. We all like met out later on, but my friends were like, that was the coolest thing ever. So they all made fun of me for doing hair, because I was a Marine, like how many Marines actually do hair. Then all of them wanted me to teach them how to do that. And so that was just like a funny story of having that skill. You don't even know when you're going to need it, but then cutting hair in the barracks. And then when I was in California, I needed a job. So the cool thing is I never felt like I needed to ever search for a job because everyone always needs their haircut or colored. And so whether I was in Thailand, I could do hair. Whether I was on base, I could do hair. So you're learning something that you're going to be able to take with you everywhere. The cool thing is what I learned in Korea was their hair salons were way different than here. Like Korean hair salons, like you get a scalp massage, a shoulder massage, like they really take care of you. And it's like the way they treat hair out, like our profession, very service oriented. It's like the quality of the customer service is so elevated. But yeah, traveling the world with this skill set, like I said, your personal economy. Do you want to get linked up with a brand? Do you want to work Fashion Week? Do you want to go to Milan? You could take this career anywhere with you. So yeah, it was cool to have the skill set to bring around the world with me and just check out how other salons did it. Did I? You're welcome. All right, right behind you.
Okay, my question is, how do you get better at like promoting products and like selling them in the salon without being like too pushy?
Good question. Yeah, it would come to diagnosing. So in your consultation, you just want to be curious, childlike curiosity. What's your first name?
Lindsay.
Lindsay. All right, Lindsay. So welcome to our salon. My name is Nick. I'm going to do your hair today. So take us through what you want to do today. Boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. What are some challenges you have with your hair?
I feel like it's frizzy and I can't really get that much volume in it.
All right, cool. So like, have you ever had a keratin before? Have you ever had like any kind of, what products do you use? Do you use a smoothing shampoo or a smoothing serum?
Yes, I use Amiga shampoo and the Max.
How's that work? What do you use styling wise? Like pre-blowout, after blowout?
I use the Amiga smoothing.
Does it,
cream.
do you like the way it works or?
I do like the way it works, but also when I feel like it goes over the, say the day after.
It's too
it
flat,
gets
greasy?
very
All right, cool. So you want
so-
something to help you with the frizz, but yet not be greasy the next day, but also maintain your volume too. Correct?
Exactly.
All right. So as we're doing your hair, and I'm going to think of what combination of products we can use, what cocktail we could mix together to give you volume, give you shine without being greasy, but also get rid of that frizz. So now when I'm doing your hair, I established what was wrong with your hair. As I'm doing your hair, I'm styling it now. I'm like, all right, Lindsay, so you said volume was an issue. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use our detangler mid shaft to ends. I'm not going to put it close to your root, comb you out. So whatever you use, like you don't have to get this one. Do you have a leave-in conditioner at home? Yeah, I do. All right, cool. I don't sell them that. You don't need this. Any leave-in conditioner is fine. But for volume, what I like the best, what I think you should, like would work the best in your hair, is the Kuhn root volumizing spray mousse. Here's how you put it in. Boom, boom, boom. And if you want more volume at the crown, hold it back 12 inches, whatever you say to them, you add it in there. Now, for frizz and shine, I'm going to cocktail a drop of this cream with this serum. And then I'll run that to your hair. I'll tell you why I'm using it, how it works, give you directions. And so if you want to have volume without being greasy the next day, these are the 3 products I would get. And so I found your issue with your hair. I diagnosed the problem. I asked you, and I kept asking you, is this the issue? Do you have this problem? You kept saying yes. So guess what that puts you in the habit of saying? Yes. So when I say, do you want these products? What do you say? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And so after I'm done with your hair, I'm like, all right, cool. How's everything look? We're talking about your hair. I love it. It's gorgeous. All right. In order to duplicate this at home, I would probably switch out your shampoo. Don't get it now because you have a little bit left already. But I would switch to this next shampoo we'll try that we use today in your hair. But I would definitely get this volume spray and this serum. And I would just use a little less of the cream. So I'm not selling the whole thing to you. I'm telling you not to buy something. I am suggesting something you should get or you almost need to get. And so this way I don't sound pushy. I'm giving you options. And what do you normally do or my clients would normally do? Guess. They bought it all. They bought everything. But I would sometimes tell clients, no, you don't need it. I would not sell them products on purpose because they would just buy anything I say. I said it with what? What's the key word here that we all need to have? Confidence. You tell anyone with confidence to buy a product and to solve a solution, solve a problem they have, and your hair looks amazing, they will buy it. And you're not selling them stuff they don't need. So you have to just work through the conversation with them about their problem, their issues with their hair. Then you diagnose it with, this is, I think, the best solution for that problem. Then when you're done and their hair looks amazing, in order to duplicate this at home, here's what I would get.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
My question is, do you have any advice on how to gain motivation when you're lacking it and like get rid of the thought of like wanting to quit sometimes?
Yeah, you have a strong enough why? All right, so you have to have a why. You have to know why you're doing hair. So if this, then that. What happens if you quit? You go back, start all over again, find a new career, start from square one, or you become a better person, develop the skills of learning how to deal with issues and overcome them. But with a strong enough why, if you choose not to follow through with your why, you have to create enough pain by quitting and falling back that is so horrific that you run the other way. For me, there is no option. If I fail, my kids go hungry. So in my mind, when I have that feeling, I'm like, I want to quit, I think of my daughter sitting at the table, not having dinner. And I'll tell you right now, that's the most powerful pain in the world. And so you have to find enough pain that you could conjure up that overcomes you wanting to quit, that pushes you towards your why, pushes you towards it being a pleasurable result. I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to do this. And that's it, even if it sucks right now, I know it's going to get better. Here's the thing. There's someone out there in the world that's making $1 million a year in this career. As a salon owner, like an ambassador for a brand, an influencer, a knowledge-based business, why not you? Why not? You have to ask yourself that. Because you want to quit? I promise you, if you quit, you'll never be that person. But if you keep on pushing through, it takes you 25 years like me, or 5 years, because you might be different, you'll get there eventually. And so just figure out what your why is. Why are you doing this? And that's going to be your light at the end of the tunnel. Tie it to enough pain that if you quit, you'll never achieve that why.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
My question is, who is your biggest influence?
Who is my biggest influence? Oh my God. Right now, currently, I'm going to probably go Alex Hormozi, even though he's younger than me, Gary Vaynerchuk, Dan Martell. Those three people. Dan Martell wrote the book, Buy Back Your Time. Alex Hormozi, $100 million deals. I told you guys to write his name down before. And Gary Vaynerchuk, because he's not much older than me. And had I taken my own advice when he started posting social media content and not had that negative self-talk that talked me out of it, being scared to post content, like feeling weird or feeling stupid, I would be in a much different place where I am today. And he was able to dig through all that. And so I would say those three people as of right now.
My question was, how did you start your research on business and marketing?
From my failed business, trying to make it work. Yeah. Like getting my teeth kicked in, trying to start a business and being, why not me? And like, I never had a victim mentality, but whenever you say, why me? Why is my business failing? Well, yeah, why you? What are you not doing? What are you pretending not to know that you already know? A lot of people, you guys pretend you don't know the answer. You guys know the answer. Post content. That's it. Like marketing's really easy. Become the best at a particular service. Tell the world about it. Then they'll tell the world about it when they come to you. That's it. Every day, wake up, tell the world how great you are. Show them how great you are. But when it comes to marketing, it moves so fast today. If you guys want to get Gary Vaynerchuk's latest book, it's heavy duty, but you'll really enjoy that book. It's like an in-depth look of strategy on how to build your business today. It's honestly trial and error for all of us. But have fun with it. Yeah. Be the best and tell the world about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Hi. best advice for finding extra resources for education?
What was the last part of that?
For furthering your education.
The best resource, honestly, you have the internet. ChatGPT. All of you guys should be using ChatGPT and how to create like an outline for you, how to create your content calendar. If you have questions about anything, ChatGPT, right? Go to my Instagram, go to my last or 2 reels ago when I'm walking in the salon. Go to that one, and it's my ChatGPT prompt for your future self to create you the perfect schedule. Do that whole prompt.
I told y'all.
But we'll ask your question again for me. Resources. Listen, it's 2025 almost. There's no such thing as a lack of resources. It's a lack of resourcefulness. Because, like I said, Kylie Jenner, granted, she's a Kardashian, right? But she's the richest one. Why is that? She was more resourceful. So all of you guys have the same playing field as anybody else in the world. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, we did not have that 25 years ago. I mean, I think even 10 years ago we did, but so you have the access to ask the internet a question and get the answer from a million different people. Whichever one aligns most with your core values and your why, you listen to them. Yeah, so just have a childlike curiosity, always be learning. Good question. All right, to your left.
What service did you benefit from?
What was that question again?
What service did you most benefit from?
Ask the teacher who's close to the microphone who could clear that for me.
What service did you benefit the most from?
All right. Me personally, it was highlights. I was really good at doing color. And so I teach something called the simple client flywheel. Whatever the thing is you do the best, you market that. You talk about it, you give instructions on it, you teach people how to do it, you sell products for it, you do product reviews on it, and you just create content just around that one thing. So for me, that was highlights. And so I was able to really post a lot of pictures, after pictures, techniques, and people got into my world because I got their attention. When they got in my chair, I wowed them with the highlights I did in them. Then they sent their mom, their sister, their cousin to me. And so I used that one simple client flywheel to get people in my chair. So highlights was what I used for that. That was my best service I was good at. I was just really good at placement. It just came very natural to me. If I had to do it all over again, though, I'll be honest with everybody, I would really lean into extensions more. Even though it's really oversaturated, it doesn't matter. If you're the best in the world at it, there's a premium there. And so if you're going to market yourself and pay for ads to get busy, the cost of extensions, there's enough margin in there to be profitable where you can spend more money to market to a clientele to attract new people. So you can spend $100 on getting a new client in the door because you're making $800 on the extensions. Or you make up that $100 difference that cost you for the ad to sell them hair and make up the difference in the price of the hair. So I would pick something like that. But for me personally, it was highlights. I was hands down, that was my strongest service that I did. Good question. Next to you.
You said like you quit at a moment in time. What was the moment you realized that like you wanted to go back and like continue?
Yeah, so I read a book. It was defeat. I was defeated in life, right? I made a wrong choice, hung out with the wrong people, and I'll be honest with everyone here. I was in the wrong car at the wrong time. All of us got arrested, and so I had to sit in a jail cell for a while and sit and think like, oh shit, what am I doing with my life? And that's when I stopped hanging out with everyone who was not a good influence. They were not going to the direction I wanted to go. I wanted to go left. They were all going right. And I sat there and I did all the self-development. I read all the books. Like I should have been a successful person. I just was hanging out with the wrong people. I was making the wrong choices. And I sat there. I was like, I'm so good at hair. What am I doing? And so I started doing hair again. I talked to my friend. He blessed me, letting me come back in the salon again. And it was really lonely, really hard, really scary. I believe in the power of manifestation. And I sat there like, I have this God-given gift that I'm just naturally good at hair. Unfortunately, I didn't make the money I wanted to make at it before. I didn't give enough time. I have this skill now with marketing, and I doubled down on every strength. And honestly, I didn't do anything but hair for probably 24 months of my life, Within 1 year's time, me being focused on my one single task, which was getting busy and making money behind the chair and growing the salon, I paid myself out of debt. I saved up $100,000. I grew a big business, and within might have been like a little over a year, maybe like 14, 16, like 16 months like that. So to have nearly 100 grand saved up, paid off all of my debt, and build a business and get the salon to 10 times its revenue, I was like, all right, I'm on the right path now. And the only thing I really did was focus. If it didn't align with my main goal, I didn't do it. And so you could do that. Like, you have to be in a season of no. Say no to everything that doesn't bring you closer to your goal. And it might suck. It might be like really annoying. Your girls are going out here, they're doing this, but you can live like no one else will now. So in the future, you can live like no one else can later. And if you do that, you could do anything you want in life. That's what I had to do. I'd experienced enough pain. I had hit rock bottom, and that's what catapulted me to make the decision to truly go after what I was good at. What I was passionate about was an online business. And so I said before, guys, you're good at something and you're passionate about something, they may be conflicting. So it's important that you just do what you're good at first so you can make enough money and create a business around it. Later on in life, you can do what you're passionate about, which is how we're sitting here in this conversation. You're welcome. All right, on the corner.
What do you appreciate most
What do I appreciate most?
about doing hair?
The people connection. I love connecting with people. I love these conversations. So when I have a client come in my chair, for me, it was like she was going through a divorce or going through, a job change. She was going through something in life. It was being able to recommend a book, give her a piece of advice that would help her get through it. It was that connection. It was like, I just like connecting with people. That was my God's honest, most favorite part. And honestly, second, if not equal, parallel to that, it would be I did mostly women's hair, but even men too. Having a person sit in my chair who felt ugly or insecure when they walked in the door, being able to speak to them, give them confidence, create hair that made them feel beautiful, not just look beautiful. I empowered them with positive self-talk and made them actually feel beautiful. So when they left the salon, they were able to take on the world. Knowing that I did that for somebody, that was the most amazing thing. And so I could share a story with you guys who want to give you a hypothetical. You guys want to hear a hypothetical story of the power of a hairdresser? Yeah? All right. You're good on time right now, Miss Peralta? All right, cool. So if you guys think we just do hair, right? Here's a story for you. I'm going to give you a couple characters. We're going to say Jen's the hairstylist in this story. Barbara is the client, okay? So Jen's the hairstylist. She's doing hair. Barbara calls her up. She calls up Jen. She's like, listen, I'm having a bad day today. I'm not going to come in. Just my boss is a jerk. So I'm going to move my point around. I'm so sorry. Jen now is like, oh, thank God. I want to go out with the girls tonight and watch some stupid TV show. So she doesn't do her hair. She books her for next week. Now, Barbara goes home. She's in a bad mood from her boss at work. Gets into a fight with her husband. Her husband now didn't sleep at all. He goes to work. He's a surgeon. He has a really important surgery in the morning. In the operating room, he makes the wrong decision. The kid dies on the table. Now, let's change the script a little bit. Barbara calls up Jen. Hey, Jen, not coming today, having a bad day at work. Can I push it off? Barbara, I have no one else but you today in the salon. I got a bottle of wine with your name on it. Come in, let's talk about it. Now, Barbara goes to get her hair done. Jen and Barbara talk. Jen makes Barbara smile. She feels beautiful. She's happy. She talks her out of the funk that she's in. Now Barbara goes home, talks to her husband, has a great night with her husband. They laugh. He wakes up in a great mood. He performs that surgery. The kid survives. He lives. Now fast forward 20 years. Barbara's son, okay, or Jen's son gets into a car accident. He is stuck in the car. Guess who shows up to save him? That little boy who was saved by that doctor on the operating table. Had Jen not done Barbara's hair, her son would have died because the kid that saved him was the boy that Barbara's husband saved. Do you understand the ripple effect that you have when you deal with people as clients? Like, I'm sure that that's a story I made up, but I'm sure that happens somewhere in the world. The power you have when you deal with people in the service industry has a ripple effect that comes back to you. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but the universal law, the way the universe works with karma, it will come back to you. You have the ability to increase the karma you're putting out in the world to come back to you tenfold for good. So that's a story that I use with a lot of people when I hire them on my team to see where their head's at. Because that's a reality for some people. You have that power behind the chair. All right, let's send it through the line over here for questions. Ms. Peralta, give me that question.
What was it? If you could go back in time and change something about your career, what would it be?
Oh, man. All right, so I wouldn't change one thing because it would have changed where I'm at today. Okay? It would fundamentally change everything about my life, and I wouldn't risk doing that. However, in a magical world that I would still have my kids and everything else, if I could change one thing, I wouldn't have quit. I would have doubled down. It's just such a hard question because all my mistakes in life that I failed at helped me get to where I'm at today. And so I wouldn't change any of them. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't see myself changing them. They served the purpose for me. And I think the lesson for this question is no matter how bad it seems right now, there's a lesson to learn from this. Don't make the mistake of not learning that lesson. Learn the lesson. Because what happens is life will give you that lesson over and over again until you learn it. But the unfortunate part is it gets louder and louder and louder. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't want to repeat those lessons for me. But that was a really good question. I just wouldn't have quit. That's all. To answer your question. All right, next to you.
How do you find the time to efficiently film a good social media video without elongating the service time?
You just set a tripod up.
Go with things, edit out,
Don't only film like 10, 20-second increments. You're not Steven Spielberg. You're not George Lucas. You're not filming a documentary. It's a hair video, right? So your content you're creating in the salon, just get like a tripod, obviously bigger than that one here. Set it up on a good angle. Weave in some highlights, do a haircut, do a blowout. Clients or people who watch your social media is going to scroll right past it. So you want it to be within like a 20-second-ish realm, 7 to 20. And you want to make sure that the information you're overlaying in the text on the reel or in the caption is very powerful and they learn something from it. When it comes to a speaking video, you could do a voiceover on that as well. And that's post-production. But if you're doing content like I do on my Instagram, like right now, I have a camera there, I have a camera here. I'm creating social media content. So as I'm getting bits for my reels. You'll see these reels from this class posted in the next week or so. I have a camera person around me at all times. I film everything. And so everything's content. I just document. So the best thing you do is don't overthink it, just document. No one's going to remember your social media post from last year. This is not going to happen. So don't give it too much thought. Make sure it's good, it's produced right, there's some thought behind it. But just set the camera up and make sure that when someone watches that piece of content, they're going to think, what's your first name? Is it Lily?
Yes.
Lily. Wow, Lily knows what she's doing. I learned a lot from Lily. They have to like it, they have to share it, they have to save it. They do that, you're going to build trust with them. So as long as your social media content proves that you're the best at what you do, builds trust with them, ultimately, it will help them make a decision to come to you. So don't overthink too much of it. Just set the camera up in a good spot, capture like 20, 30 seconds, and then stop. If you're going to film the whole thing, it's too much to go through.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any more questions?
How do you keep your like clientele like nice and like full? Like so you're constantly busy and you're not just sitting around in the back room.
You should never be sitting around in the back room. When you're sitting down, you should be messaging people, asking them questions, thanking them for following, editing a video, creating some kind of content, creating a content calendar. Like if your job is to be in the salon from 9 in the morning till 5 at night and you have no clients, your job is to get clients from 9 in the morning till 5 at night. If you spend every second of that day trying to get clients, messaging them, trying to get models, reaching out to friends, you're going to be doing hair. So there should be no downtime ever. Your downtime is when you're sleeping in the beginning, to be honest with you. But yeah, to stay busy, create raving fans. There's a book probably called Raving Fans, but you want every client to love you and love their hair so much, they tell 10 people. And those 10 people tell 10 people. And those 10 people tell 10 people. And then you're going to be oversubscribed. Then you'll be busy. Yeah. So yeah, always ask for a referral. Ask how they heard about you. If they're new. Ooh, Google. When they leave and they love their hair, like, hey, Deb, do me a favor. You found me on Google, right? Can you do me a favor? Just leave me a review on how like the whole experience was. And then you start building your reviews with your name in them. But you should never sit in the back room waiting. You should be upfront asking. You should be filming content of the stylist in there. So then you can ask them why they're doing this technique. They have content for their social media. You have context to the question you asked. So if someone's over-directing hair a certain way, you could go back and watch that person who you love in the salon and you love the way their haircuts come out. Study that person. Because you're going to mirror them. You're going to study their craft, their body positioning. What are they doing different? Why are they busy? Why are you not busy? Or why is one person in the salon busy but the other ones aren't? You know, so if you're looking, what are their habits? Are they in the back room with you, scrolling on Instagram? Or are they editing content? So in the salon, find the busiest person who has the life that you want and mirror what they do. Like see how they stand behind the chair. See their consultations. Do they ask for a review? Some of these people are probably built up for a long time now. So it's going to be a little difficult because they put the work in the beginning. Ask them, hey, how did you do this? One of the things I do with my team when I was behind the chair, they have to ask me 3 questions every night after their shift or in the morning for the day before if it was really late. Every day you should have 3 questions for the person in the salon that you truly admire. And every day they should be well thought out questions. Why'd you choose a 9-1 and a 9-9-0? You know, why'd you choose this color? Why'd you choose that toner? Why'd you stand like that when you cut her hair? Why'd you blow out her bangs with a comb? And then by the end of that year, you're going to have all their knowledge in your brain. Right. Next question. You're welcome.
For my question, I'm going to college, but I still want to do hair. Do you have any idea like what majors I could study that would be beneficial to like doing hair and sales and marketing and stuff?
Psychology, sociology, honestly, the study of people and their environment, psychology, so you can really get into ads and figure out what the thought process is between a person scrolling through on the season of the year, how you can create your hooks. If you know psychologically what people are thinking about and you know your ideal client, I want to get into the headset of that person to see why they make decisions. So having the language and vocabulary and psychology will give you a better understanding of how to create ads with the experts. So you're going to be able to really dissect ads and the person's thought process of how they consume content and information and what leads them to make a decision. That's what I would probably do. Yeah, because marketing is going to change. You're going to learn about marketing, and honestly, by the time you get out of school, it's the new thing's up. So take a marketing class. I'm not saying not to. And then the art of writing on top of that, like language, because language is never going away. Cool. That was a really good question. You're welcome.
You first started out in the industry. Did you struggle with anything unexpectedly?
Yeah. Comparisons. I always compared myself to other people and why wasn't I busy? I struggled with that. Like, oh, damn, like, why is that client going to him? Or why is he busy? Why not me? And it was just the way it was. I mean, it had to do with what I wasn't doing. Rather than me looking at that person being busy and being, why not me? What am I doing wrong? What can I do differently? Right? So it's not like, why poor me? It's what can I do differently to be busy right now? Because what I'm doing right now is not working. And so I struggle with that. Like, I thought I was good at doing hair. And maybe I was. Maybe it was something else I wasn't doing. I wasn't showing up for my clients like I should have. Like by 20s, I used to party. You're going to get into this industry, and I'm not sure how it is now. But back in the 90s and early 2000s, people went out a lot in our industry. And so I was hanging out with the wrong people, doing the wrong things. I wasn't focused on my career. And so I struggled with having the dreams of being a millionaire and an entrepreneur, but not having the actions of millionaire entrepreneur stylist. So that was my struggle. So yeah, it was just comparison. I had to change. I had to fundamentally change who I was as a human being and a person, and my actions and my habits, and then my life magically changed. It's funny how that happens, but all right. Next question.
What really built your business, and when was the moment that you realized that you are like successful, you succeeded?
I am big into affirmations and my success statement. So I used to review my numbers, and it was I'll give you like a timeline of months. So January, I opened my salon, and I really started putting in the work, going every day, making sure when the phone rang, I was there to answer it. It was that September when everyone complained about August being slow. I was still busy. Every busy person in my salon that was booking more than me and more successful than me, I blew out of the water. I was doubling their numbers, and I had no more debt. I looked down, and I wasn't scared anymore. I wasn't scared about where my next client was going to come from, even though I had a slow day or maybe a slow couple days. It was that moment when I knew that I figured out Facebook ads. I figured out Facebook. I had enough people talking about me on the internet and the moms groups. And I realized that I did it. And I think I was on par to do 200,000 that year. So I'm very money focused. If you guys don't, 'cause I grew up without money. And so for me, money is my security blanket. And it's my scoreboard. Money does not buy happiness, though, because I'm telling you right now, it's not the happiness. It makes you very comfortable. So money is your scoreboard, and it helps make things easier for you. But you have to it's not happy. If you're using money as a tool to be happy, it's not it. It's just a way to make your life more comfortable. Unfortunately for me, like not growing up with money, I like to go to dinner and not look at the prices on the menu. And so it was like when I got to restaurants, I never worried about money anymore. I didn't worry about bills. I didn't have debt collectors call me. That was like, I made it. Like I was like, good. I feel comfortable. But I think that September of my first year, I was like, I felt very at ease. And no matter what, I knew I could be busy behind the chair. And so no matter what business failed, because I started a website after that. I started another e-commerce store, just to let you guys know, that I spent $98,000 on Google ads in 3 months. While I was saving for a wedding, while I did free shipping, free returns, I went 300 grand in debt. After I made money with the salon, as I was doing hair, I ventured into another business because I thought I was really good at business, but I wasn't. I was good at the hair business, not the e-commerce business. So when you make lateral moves in the different sectors, just understand there's a learning curve. Don't be cocky when you go into that. I thought I was the shit. I was making money in a hair salon. I'm going to kill e-commerce. $300,000 later, if not more, I was like, what am I doing? All over again, right? It's called career capital. I had no career capital with e-commerce. So you're going to have career capital with doing hair, right? You guys are all going to be amazing hairstylists. Then you're going to want to open a hair salon. Guess what? You need career capital to open a hair salon. You have to have the capital of being a business owner. Okay? Hope that answered your question. I just went on a rant, but all right, cool. Next question.
What do you do when you have a client that doesn't respect the advice you give?
You make it known, like, hey, listen, Vanessa, this is your hair. I totally respect your decision. I'm advising that I think this is the best option for you for this reason, that reason, and that reason. But if you want to do this, fine. Now, if it's going to impede their hair and impact it in a negative way, like it's going to damage it, make it fall out, break, then you could refuse to do it. You could refuse to do anyone, to be honest with you. But you want to make sure you're crystal clear on exactly what you're suggesting and reiterate it several times. Now, if it's a big color job, a color correction, I would even have some kind of like agreement. Hey, I'm advising that this is the best option. You want to do this? Initial off on it that I'm choosing not. I don't think it's a good option. You can go that route, but being transparent, having clarity, and like 3 or 4 times, let them know how you feel. Yeah. All right, everyone. Good questions. Guys, so if you have any questions ever moving forward, I do Q&A Mondays, Q&A Fridays on my Instagram. So you can always put it in the little question box, your questions. You can message me on Instagram. All right, you guys, honestly, it was great chatting with all of you. You have an amazing teacher. Listen to her.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, everyone. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
And any questions, feel free. Just message me on Instagram, all right, guys? All right.